Wanted to travel. I enjoy the finer things in life, and always thought that I deserved whatever I want in life, and that everybody else should too. I mean, we're God's highest form of creation, so why not? So before Nagic, I was going to college. I had a child at 18 as I was graduating. Got my first job at 18, and then I was going to school for. I decided to go to college for collision repair, auto body. I did not know. Yeah, technical. I love cars. I didn't know what else to do. I said, I love cars. I want to do something that I'm passionate about. I don't want to be miserable in an office or whatever. So I go to school for this. I actually got an opportunity to work in a body shop while I was going to school. I thought it was an amazing opportunity. Started in January of 2012. By August 2012, I had to quit that job because the owner that hired me told my coworker that if I was going to go to school 2 days a week, he was going to have to let me go. I didn't understand why. So that was a Thursday, Friday, I called in, got a job interview at a place. Saturday, got the job. Monday came in, quit, got my toolbox and said, hey, I'm out. He couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe his response. I was so confused and wasn't understanding life at that point at 20 years old. And then, so that's 2012. In February of 2013, I was introduced to network marketing. And a friend had called me 2 or 3 days before my birthday. February 4th, 2013 is when I got started. He calls me a couple days before that and said, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm evaluating life. It's funny that you call me. I'm just here. I was on assistance, governmental assistance, because I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't buy food for my family because I was 20 years old. I was going to school. I was working part-time. And I was like, oh, this is just life. You know, this is how becoming an adult, becoming a grown-up. This is part of it, right? And so I was like, this is the grind. The grind is real. The struggle is real. So he calls me and he's like, great. That's awesome. I have an opportunity. You can work with whoever you want. We can work online, offline, many different countries.
And that was network marketing.
And that was network marketing. And I said, I don't understand this concept, but this is something that I've always, this was like a dream job since I was like 14. Work with who you want to, share an idea, and just travel, do whatever you want. And I was like, I don't understand it. And he let me talk to a couple other people, and I still didn't understand it. He said, hey, I'm gonna send you a little bit of the product. You purchase the product, don't even open your product. Try mine, share with a few people, see the feedback that you get, and then you'll understand. And I didn't, and I verbally vomited on people for 3 months, and I ruined a lot of relationships with a lot of people, which I didn't have a whole lot of relationships as I was growing up anyway with people, because I had some negative reinforcement in my parental growing up with my parents and stuff, and so I wasn't a big influence on a lot of people. I didn't take things seriously when I was in high school. It was high school, I didn't care. In college, I had a child getting out of high school. I took life seriously then, and so I was like, I want to change my life. I want to be awesome. I want to live an awesome life and help as many people do the same. And people didn't take me seriously, and I didn't care because I knew my end goal was what I'm going to be. I already knew that I had that. I just had to get to that. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but my why was strong enough. So go through this, and I was just learning and learning. Went to the convention that they had, and it changed my life. Saw some very inspirational
so now
speakers.
you get to the after story.
Well, this is getting to Anagic, leading up to it. So then Anagic just came to my life in December of last year, a few months ago.
Wait, don't go there yet. So what are we hearing? What's his issue? Because I got to make sense of it. We got to get his burden.
I couldn't find, I could never gain the momentum. I couldn't get.
Yeah, I kind of put bouncing jobs.
Yeah, like bouncing jobs, and I bounced a couple businesses, network marketing.
I think your child has to be a huger part of your story.
It's everything.
But you have to build your child into, I'm a young father raising a child. I can't screw up. I can't afford to screw up. I don't have the option of screwing up.
Well, because I did screw up. Right when I learned that I was having a child.
He or she?
She.
Write her into the story much more prominently.
Okay.
My child was such a big part about a driving factor for me to become a man.
Completely saved my life. I almost went to
Write
correctional facilities before she was born. And
write her in as a big part.
Okay.
And the bouncing jobs is good. Everybody knows what that feels like, having to go from job to job to job. Kind of the go-getter, the travel, I kind of put down there because they apply to everybody. But you wanted to work with people, but she would be the biggest part of my story.
Definitely.
Were I in your shoes? Single parent?
Yeah.
Write that in there. I was a single parent having to provide for this child. Had no idea what I was doing. I was flying by the seat of my pants and totally scared. Knew I had to grow up, knew I had to get control of this. I had to get something to put my life in order. and this was something like that, some burden that you cannot fail this child.
Yeah.
You fail yourself, yeah, you screw up, you can always be homeless.
Sure.
Yeah, you can be on the street, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
Exactly.
She
She
didn't
deserves the
volunteer to
best.
come into this world.
Exactly.
Right? You brought her in here, you had to provide for her. That was this driving factor that propelled me into the success.
Mm-hmm.
And people will look at that and say, oh my Lord. They will applaud that till the cows come home. That's heroic in the nature of being a hero, is to understand that you have a massive responsibility to the child, and you know, what you had to do is you had to do it. You had to become one of these guys. And there was nobody giving you the option, no, you can't go back to being a boy. Like, no, this is it.
I was like, well, hang on, we'll just
Yeah,
revert it.
yeah, no, she's here now, immediately.
Yeah.
Because anybody can be a father, but there's not anybody can be a man, right? Anybody can father a child. You know?
Right. You bring
I
it.
don't know how that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's, we don't know about that. So, class, different class. Okay. So get us into. That's how I would set it up.
Okay.
The only thing is you got to make it half of what you spoke.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was
That's my
about
problem.
6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Scale that down where she
Right.
becomes a central story.
Okay.
Listen, I came from a small town, didn't really know what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
You know, I had a kind of rough upbringing. You know, felt I always wanted to, you know, try to find out a little bit more about the world. Had a child real early. It just happened. Happens to a lot of us. Put a burden on me so great that I knew I had to grow out of this, you know, little kid who doesn't know much about the world, and I knew I needed vision and focus. I was kind of bouncing around these miscellaneous jobs. I was working as an automobile guy here, and I got another job there. You know, not that that really matters, but I couldn't find something concrete.
Right.
I couldn't find the stability I needed. And I knew to raise a child, I just had to get my act together.
Yeah.
That's just it. I had to get my
Yeah.
SHI
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and this was how I did it. Now go into the after.
Okay, so after Enagic, I mean, I'm here. This is why I'm here. Thanks to Mr. Augustine and Juan Garza for giving me a little bit of a push, but thanks to Enagic, I now have that it goes back to the finances. I mean, because now that we have good commissions when we make sales, I can now pay my bills in Arkansas. I drove 20 hours to get here a couple days ago, and I'm staying here for 3 weeks, and that's not a cheap process, and neither is living back home and child support and all of that stuff. But I just made the decision. I came here 2 weeks ago. I stayed in Orlando for most of my time. I came here for 12 hours to Miami on my birthday 2 weeks ago. Spent it with these guys, not partying, not hanging out, but actually getting shit done, you know, and progressing. Because every year for the last 2 years, I've tried to progress 10 times more on my birthday. I try to work harder every birthday that I've ever had for the last 3 years of being an entrepreneur. And so I'm here to grow. I'm here because I believe Miami, there's a lot of snowbirds, they call it, here in the winter months. So I see the small window of opportunity. And I came here 2 weeks ago, came to Miami for 12 hours. It was not enough time. I just said, wow, culture shock, amazing opportunity, networks. It was insane. Like, yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, you guys should come back sometime, blah, blah, blah. Talked to her, I was like, yo, like, I was home for 2 days. I was like, pretty sure next Wednesday or so I'm going to be in Miami. I don't know, but I got to come back. And he's like, okay, figured out. I got everything in line, and I said, okay, I'm going, because I'm actually going to Canada next month, and that was going to be my next thing. But now I'm like actually trying to get my passport while I'm here, so I can stay here and go to Miami, then go to Canada, then go back to my daughter for her birthday when I get back. It's her birthday in 2 days. So
beautiful.
I'm treating this as my CEO executive business, so that I can open up my custom body shop within 10 years versus my 30 to 50 year plan. Now within 7 years I'll have opened up my shop and started my traditional business.
And
as
use
the
the
one
word promise. I promised my daughter I would be back there. I'm going to hold true to that promise. That builds in trust into your whole story.
Promise.
I promised my daughter. As a matter of fact, I promised myself every birthday I would make this advancement in my own career. And that's a promise I made to myself. People will resonate with that. They say, he's a man of promises. That equals trust. I can trust him too. So I would build that into your whole story. I'm just like, it looks like you got focus.
I'll try.
I mean, it looks like you just went from a, you know, I don't know what the heck I'm doing kind of life to I'm going to Miami now I'm going to Canada. It looks like you just got focus, and that's what everybody would want from you.
And with this amazing product, now I have the opportunity to get a deeper sleep, which I don't do a lot of now that I'm working so hard, but get great sleep. I'll wake up, I'm not sluggish, I'm not groggy or anything. My mental clarity is on a completely different level thanks to Mr. Augustine with the K8 on the 7 pH and 9.5 drinking water. It is amazing what it does for your body and brain and everything. And I'm able to sell out on that and really give that to anybody that is willing to, invest in their health. And so it's an amazing product. And so this
Would you invest in
opportunity
him?
is
Yeah.
amazing.
In a heartbeat. Yeah.
So,
Look at the way he's dressed. Look at the way he's dressed. Presents himself well. Speaks well.
I feel
Yeah.
like a
Any
superhero.
other good ideas for him?
And he's young.
And he's young.
And when you go to Canada, just to give you an insight, this device the Medicare pays for it. So you have geriatric population, you should look into that since you're traveling up there.
There's an
That's
insight
gonna
for you.
open a
There's
lot
an
of
insight.
avenues for you. Please do.
Well, yeah, we're going to the, it's called the
Yeah,
North
the
America's
MedCard.
largest home
Yeah.
show or something.
Toronto.
Toronto's North
Yes.
America's largest home show.
Maybe you should link
Approach
with her.
that.
Yeah, I'll
Approach
give it to you
that.
after this.
Link
Yeah,
with her.
yes,
Give it.
wow.
What do you think? Give him a round of applause.
Give
That's
him
Justin.
a hand.
So we